Hello everyone, welcome to Augmented Technology Private Limited. Today I am excited to introduce our one of the product, that is WIN-IO-1M1TCP MQTT. It's an RTU to TCP gateway which includes the MQTT protocols. Here we have the baseboard. In this board, here we have the power supply connection. For this power supply, here we have the configuration as the positive and negative, where you can provide up to 24 volt DC. And for this gateway, here we have the RS485 and here we have the TCP, that is RJ45. For here you can connect your slaves according to the configuration as A for the positive, B for the negative. You can connect with the slaves Modbus. Here we have the RJ45, that's a TCP Ethernet. Here we can connect with the Ethernet jack to the device. You can get the data in Modbus TCP. For this module, we have also the MQTT provision, which you will get the data of the slaves in MQTT. For this board, here we have the buttons. Here we have the enable button and here we have the reset button for the default. Here I have the 3 slaves which provides the data through the RS485. Here I have the VPD sensor and here I have the temperature sensor. Here I have the IO card, that is 4DD-AM, which provides the data through the RS485. So I have connected this RS485 with my WIN-IO-1M1TCP gateway to get the slaves data. Now I will connect these 3 slaves with my TCP gateway. Now I connected all 3 slaves with the gateway. Here Modbus, it is a Modbus master. So I have connected all 3 slaves Modbus with the master Modbus. So I have powered the board with the 12 volt DC. And here I have connected the RJ45 Ethernet cable with my PC. Okay. Now for this board we have the Wi-Fi. Okay. We have the AP Wi-Fi. It's showing here. Okay. When you refresh Wi-Fi setting, here you will get the Wi-Fi as a WIN RTU to TCP. Okay. Here you are getting the WIN RTU to TCP. And accept that number, you will get the Wi-Fi. I connect that Wi-Fi with the password 1234567 Okay. Once you connect the password, you will get the access of the web page. Okay. Open the Chrome and the web page is 192.168.4.254. This is the default web page for the TCP configuration and also for the MQTT. Both the web ID is same. So here you will get the TCP configuration web page. Here it is the serial port configuration. Here the Modbus data, whatever they getting. So here TCP configuration, you can change your IP address, gateways and everything. The IP address will be here. You can change the addresses and submit. Once submit, it will save the new addresses. And here it is the serial port. For the slaves, you can set the baud rate and the data bit and parity bit and stop bit. Here by entering the slave ID and address, quantity and function, you will get the slave data here. Here we have given the extra provision for this. So now I will open the Modbus TCP. Okay. Here I will connect the TCP. See, before the default IP address, that is 192.168.1.254. That is the IP address for the TCP. So go to the connection. Select the TCP IP mode. Okay, enter the here IP address as a 192.168.1.254. Once I will connect, see here first of all in setup, read and write. Okay, that is the slave ID 1, function code 3. I have 3 slaves. Okay, with the 3 different slave IDs. One slave is for a slave ID 1 and second slave is for slave ID 2 and third slave for slave ID 3. Okay, first slave is a VPD sensor and second slave is a temperature sensor and third slave is a IO board, that is a 4DD-AM. So for first that is a slave ID 1. Okay, here that is a slave ID 1 and function code 3. Here I am getting the VPD sensor data. Okay, once I shift the slave ID as a 2. Okay, here I am getting the temperature data. It is a temperature and here it is the humidity. Okay, I am getting the temperature and humidity data value. So once I will shift with the slave ID 3. So here I am getting the IO board data. Currently there is no operated with the IO board. So once shift with the function code 2. So I will get the DIDO part. in function code 3 I will get the AI/EO part. Okay, to get this data with the MQTT, so we need to open the MQTT web page, then provide the MQTT broker addresses, and once you submit you will get the data through the MQTT. For that, now we will open the web page. Before opening the web page, the WIN RTU TCP Wi-Fi should be connected with your PC. Then open the web page. Same IP address 192.168.4.254. This is for the default TCP/MQTT. It is for the MQTT process. Okay, this is the web configuration will open. Here you can provide your local Wi-Fi. On which Wi-Fi you need to get the slave data. Okay, so I need here I am using my local Wi-Fi, that is a WITLB. So I will provide the WITLB addresses. Here the WITLB Wi-Fi SSID, and here I will provide the WITLB Wi-Fi password. So once providing the password, after here you need to provide your own broker addresses. Okay, here you can provide your own broker. Okay, own broker ID, and here the port, that is almost default 1883, and username and password will be optional. You can provide or no, there is no issue. And here you can provide your topic, on which topic you need to get the data. So I will set a TCP1. It's a TCP board, so I will give the topic as a TCP1. So interval time I will provide as a 5 seconds. So here click on the enable MQTT, so where the slaves data will be sent to the MQTT. So then save the configuration. After saving the configuration, the IP will redirect to the basic default IP, that is 254 for the TCP. So here you will get the TCP IP. Okay, once you are getting here, then go to the Modbus data. So here currently you have 3 slaves. So for example, you need only 2 slaves data. Okay, another slave you don't need. That means on that time just you provide the only 2 slaves addresses here, and then submit. You will get the only 2 slave data in the MQTT. So before that, for example, I need a slave ID 1. Okay, and address, starting address, that is 0, and quantity in slave ID 1 I am using only 3 registers, right? So I will provide only 3 registers, and function code, that is for a slave ID 1, that is 3. Then I will submit. So see here I am getting the slave ID 1 data. Okay, and I will do the same with slave ID 2, and that is quantity also, that is quantity 2, right? Temperature and humidity. I am using only 2 registers. I will provide 2. Then function code will be a 3. Then submit the data. See here you are getting. Okay, now connect the local Wi-Fi. Here the local Wi-Fi I have provided in the MQTT configuration. So I will connect the local Wi-Fi with LB. Once you connect with the local Wi-Fi, open the MQTT broker which is provided in the configuration. So I have provided the emqx.io. So I will open the MQTT with the emqx.io. Okay, here I have the connection. So connect the board. See, this is the plain text. Select it as a JSON. See, here I am getting the slave data. Currently I have selected only 2 slaves, right? So slave 1, that is a VPD sensor, right? So VPD sensor data I am getting. Okay, it will show the data for every 5 seconds. First is the 1222, then 1222.5. Okay, then I will get the data on 1222.10. See, for every 5 seconds I am getting the slave data. In web page you can change the time intervals. According to your time intervals you can change whatever the time interval you need. Here I am getting the 2 slaves are connected. So now I will, how much slaves I will access. So on that basis only you will get the data in MQTT. Currently I have accessed only 2 slaves here, right? First I provided the slave ID 1 addresses, then I have provided the slave ID 2 addresses and submitted. So according to these two slaves only I am getting the data. See, for the heavy, here you are getting the updated data for the every 5 seconds. For this 1M1TCP gateway, the AP Wi-Fi will be always on, means always active. So you can connect the Wi-Fi whenever you want to change the new addresses, like a MQTT broker addresses. Whenever you want to change the MQTT broker addresses and you want to get the slaves data in new MQTT addresses, so you can connect the Wi-Fi and open the IP then and change your own MQTT broker addresses. So you will get the data with the new MQTT addresses. Now I connected the one slave ID. Okay, here I have connected with the slave ID, that is here I am using the temperature sensor as a slave. Okay, here I have the TCP gateway. So here for this Modbus, so I have connected this temperature with the Modbus data. Okay, Modbus wire, RS485 wire. So I have provided the power for the both board, for the TCP board also and for the temperature board also. So here I have connected the with the LAN cable. So now I will go with the PC. Okay, in my first PC, so I will open the TCP. Okay, open the Modbus and go to the connection and click on the connect, and here select the TCP IP, and in IP address you can provide the 192.168.1.254. This is the default IP address for the Modbus RTU to TCP gateway. So after clicking OK, see here click on read and write option, and here select the slave ID. For this slave I am using the slave ID as the 2, so I have provided here as a 2. See here my slave has connected with the gateway properly, so here I am getting the data of the slave. So for this we can connect up to 3 servers at a simultaneously. Okay, here I have connected with the one server, that is Modbus TCP, and I have connected with the another server, that is I will open the web page 192.168.1.254. This is the default IP address. See, for this default IP address I am getting the web page. Okay, here you can check the Modbus status. In Modbus status, so here it will scan the slaves, how many slaves that is connected for the TCP gateway. So that slave will be scanned and it will show in the Modbus status data. So here I have connected with only one slave, that is temperature sensor. So whenever it scans the Modbus, here you will get the response with the slave ID. See here I am getting the slave responded, that means one slave has connected properly, so it responded. Here you can change with the IP addresses. So whenever you want to change the IP addresses, you can change the IP address and save and apply. Here you will get the TCP UDP, and here you will get the RTU setting for the baud rates and slave IDs and everything. For 3 servers at a simultaneously, here I already opened with the 2 server. One is Modbus TCP and one is web page. So now I will open with the 3rd server at the different windows. So here I will connect with the default IP address. So now I will connect with the default IP address and select the go to the setup and read and write. Here I will set the that is the slave ID, that is 2. Okay, then okay. See here also I am getting the data properly. So totally 3 servers we can connect with the simultaneously, that is 2 TCP and 1 that is the web page, that is the default web page 192.168.1.254.